Part 1, The Gathering Storm. The small town of Ravenswood had always been a quiet and close-knit community, nestled at the edge of a dense, ancient forest. Its cobblestone streets and quaint cottages gave it an air of old-world charm, but beneath the surface, something sinister was lurking. It all began innocently enough, with a group of friends, Emma, Jake, Sarah, and Mark, enjoying a lazy summer evening by the bonfire in Emma's backyard. Little did they know, their lives were about to take a chilling turn. The night was clear, the stars glittering like diamonds in the sky. The flames danced and crackled, casting eerie shadows that danced across the group's faces. Laughter and stories flowed freely as they toasted marshmallows and shared their dreams. But as the night wore on, a subtle unease began to settle over the gathering. "Has anyone seen Mark?" Emma asked suddenly, looking around as if expecting her friend to emerge from the darkness. The others exchanged puzzled glances, but no one seemed to remember seeing Mark leave. "He was just here a moment ago," Jake said, his voice tinged with confusion. As the minutes turned into hours, they searched the yard, then the house, and finally the surrounding area. But there was no sign of Mark. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. Part 2, Echoes of Disquiet. The disappearance of Mark left the group shaken, but they tried to convince themselves that he had simply gone home without telling anyone. However, the unease that had settled in the pit of their stomachs refused to dissipate. Strange occurrences began to haunt their days and nights, whispers carried by the wind that only they seemed to hear, fleeting glimpses of figures in the woods that disappeared when they looked closer, and the feeling of being watched even when they were alone. Days turned into weeks, and the group's dynamic started to crumble under the weight of the unknown. Emma's cheerful demeanor gave way to anxiety, Jake became obsessed with finding logical explanations, Sarah's laughter grew hollow, and they all began to distance themselves from one another. Then, one evening, Sarah was the next to vanish. The remaining two friends were gathered in Emma's living room when they realized she was no longer there. Panic set in, and they scoured the area once again, but Sarah seemed to have vanished without a trace, just like Mark. Part 3, The Web Tightens. With two of their friends missing, Emma and Jake were gripped by fear and desperation. They attempted to involve the local authorities, but their pleas fell on deaf ears. The police seemed disinterested, chalking up the disappearances to runaway teenagers or unrelated incidents. Frustrated and convinced that something malevolent was at play, Emma and Jake embarked on their own investigation. Their journey took them deeper into the heart of Ravenswood's forest, where the trees seemed to whisper secrets and shadows seemed to dance with unnatural life. As they delved further, they discovered old legends of a presence that had haunted the woods for generations, a vengeful spirit that preyed on the lost and the desperate. Their research led them to an ancient tree, known as the Whispering Oak, said to be a gateway between the worlds of the living and the dead. According to the legend, whoever heard the whispers of the oak was doomed to disappear, taken by the spirit that dwelled within. Part 4, Confronting the Unknown. With the legend in mind, Emma and Jake's determination to rescue their friends grew stronger. Armed with candles, salt, and incantations they found in forgotten books, they returned to the forest one moonlit night. The air was thick with tension as they approached the Whispering Oak, the tree's gnarled branches seeming to stretch toward them like skeletal fingers. As they lit the candles and began to chant, the wind picked up, carrying with it a chorus of faint, haunting whispers. The shadows around them seemed to coil and shift, and a cold dread settled over their hearts. The chanting grew louder, drowning out the whispers, and suddenly, the ground trembled beneath their feet. The trunk of the whispering oak split open, revealing a dark void that seemed to swallow the surrounding forest. From within the void emerged the figures of Mark and Sarah, their eyes empty and hollow, their voices joining the chorus of whispers that filled the air. Part 5, The Price of Desperation. Emma and Jake's hope turned to horror as they realized that their friends were no longer themselves. The vengeful spirit that dwelt within the whispering oak had claimed their souls, leaving behind only empty shells. The realization crashed over them like a wave, and they understood the dire consequences of their desperate attempt to rescue their friends. The whispers grew louder, and the shadows around them seemed to take on tangible forms. The spirit, now free, hungered for more souls to claim. Emma and Jake, paralyzed by fear and guilt, were ensnared by the tendrils of darkness that reached out from the void. The last thing they heard before everything went dark was the triumphant laughter of the vengeful spirit. Epilogue, Eternal Echoes. Ravenswood, once a peaceful town, became forever tainted by the events that unfolded within its depths. The legend of the Whispering Oak grew, and its dark influence spread like a stain. Locals avoided the forest at all costs, and the memory of Emma, Jake, Mark, and Sarah faded into obscurity. But the forest never forgot. The whispers persisted, carried by the wind to anyone who ventured near. And on the rarest of nights, when the moon hung low and the shadows danced in the dark, the echoes of lost souls could still be heard, a haunting reminder that some mysteries are better left untouched, and some stories are destined to be whispered in the wind for eternity.